is going on, guys? I thank you all for joining me, and real quick, this is kind of a video response to a question that I was asked on how to replace the magnets that are in the Lexa's side plate. And if you've owned a Daiwa Magforce V-style reel, it should apply to most of them. It's fairly similar, it may just be sized a little bit differently. So the gentleman had an issue where he cracked one of his magnets and had to order replacements, and he wanted to know how to get them back in. It's fairly straightforward. The only tools you're going to need are really a pair of tweezers or a pick tool and a Phillips screwdriver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pair of tweezers instead of using a pick. I'm going to go ahead and lift off this retaining clip. And again, whenever you're dealing with these clips, especially the large ones like this, you want to have a secure grip with your thumb or a finger just to make sure it doesn't come back at you or get away from you. Because if these things break free, they can get at you pretty quick. So once we have that clip removed, it's a good idea to kind of keep your finger on top, because if you remove that clip, you don't want it to kind of spring out and possibly damage itself. So with our finger here, we're going to take our tweezers, and this is the dial, just to give you an idea where we're going to grab. We're going to grab that magnet just like this, give it a slight pressure, and we're going to kind of pull it back towards the back and lean it towards the dial. So you kind of go like that and you kind of lift up the back end. If you got to turn it a little bit, sometimes that's helpful. And once you get it to start coming, get your finger underneath the back, because you don't want it to slip back down out of the grip of your tweezers and smack against anything where you could actually crack or damage one of the magnets. So once we're at this point, if you damage the central magnet, you would take a screwdriver or razor blade and just chip off anything or any glue residual that might be on that bearing retainer. And then we're going to go in and remove the two screws here. Now, the reason why we're taking these screws out is they are magnetic. And if you have to re-glue this centerpiece, you're going to want to make sure that there's nothing kind of interfering or any magnetism that can interfere with how this magnet is going to be set before the adhesive dries. Now if you look here, see that little nub on that inner ring right there, and it's kind of aligned with that little channel that's kind of cut into the magnet. When you glue the magnet back in, you want to have that perfectly aligned, and this little nub here is going to face down. So when you put this cup back in, it's going to face the bottom of the reel, just to give you guys an idea. So if your screws are stuck in here, just take your tweezers and grab your screws. And yeah, don't ruin your sister or your girlfriend or your mom's tweezers, because nobody likes their girlfriend to have giant eyebrows. The girl's gonna have them eyebrows on fleek. So we're gonna pretend now that the magnet is glued back in place, so we can put this back inside the reel. And we can see that groove is facing down. Now we're going to grab our size 0 screwdriver, get that screw on the tip and holding it with our finger, because we're going by a magnet, and we're going to drop it in there because we're clumsy. And take number 2. Once again, we got it. If it takes you any less than 5 tries, you did good. Just saying. If you got small fingers, it's easier. Alright. 2 in a row. So now we have the outer magnetic ring. And I'm not 100% certain whether or not Daiwa ships this assembled or if it has to be glued in. But once again, if you're gluing it in, make sure that there's no other metal around to possibly change its positioning before the glue sets. And there's no real indication of as far as polarity is concerned, and that's what it looks like. So you tell me what polarity that is. I don't know. This is magnetic transfer paper. I honestly thought it would take both magnets to make it look like that. I did a video about a year ago that showed the magnetic field of the Magforce brake. But I didn't know it was going to look like a 6-star rim. Pretty cool. So now that we're going to put this back in place, really simple. I like setting the brake dial to off. That way, when I know I'm looking at it from this side, the only way I can turn it is counterclockwise. So we're going to take our assembled magnetic ring and we're going to place it in there so that the teeth are favoring the top. So when you lean it in like, oh, we're not going to drop it. So when you lean it like this, you kind of got to get those teeth to go in and then rotate it. We're then going to make sure we get it rotated as far as possible. It's not far enough. There we go. You see that? See how few teeth are below that wheel? So now that we've got that in place, we're going to grab our clip. Oh, there it is. And without moving our thumb, because the second you lift that thumb up, this is going to happen. Watch that outer ring. Watch right there. Watch it move. See how it jumped and spun? That's because the magnetic field wants to hate you. And you can, monkey around with it trying to get it underneath. It's just easier just to take it out again and start from scratch again. So again, dial set to the off position. And we're going to go like this. We're going to try to get it. We're going to try to find where it wants to go and turn. There we go. Just like that. You can see how those teeth end at my thumb. And then with my thumb, I'm going to press down gently so it's not binding on anything. And we're going to kind of wait until it hears that snap and that click. That means it's seated all the way down. Then we're going to take our clip. And since my thumb is here, I got to get around my thumb. So you see how I got that side of the clip in place? That goes a long way to not having to do this 100 times and curse at things. So, come on. I don't want to move my thumb, but I'm gonna go about the other side now. Come on. This is a lot more difficult to do on camera than it looks. There we go. And that's good. Make sure you can turn it all the way to 10. And then all the way off. If you can get from here all the way around to 10, you know you did it right. And when you put it on the reel, you can see it's at 10. You should get almost very minimal free spool. See how it doesn't want to go anywhere? Even if I turn the handle, the brake is so strong that you're going to get a lot of resistance at the highest setting and then minimal at the lower setting. So cool. I think that about explains everything. I don't know if I missed anything. You tell me. If you have any other questions about how to do this, feel free to ask. I just figured I'd put this together real quick. And yeah, fairly straightforward, a little bit of a pain. All you need is a screwdriver, tweezers, and some glue. All right, guys, let me know down below if this was helpful. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would like to see you guys here regularly. Become subscribers. Let me know your thoughts on everything I put out. Check out the stuff that I've put out already, and let me know what you think. And until next time, guys, thank you all for joining me. Tight lines, and I'll see you soon.